us here have bought clothes within the past 1 year? Please raise your hands, please. Oh wow, that's a lot. I didn't expect that. Thank you so much. Another question. How many of us are planning to refurbish our wardrobes in the next 3 to 6 months? Like buying new clothes, switching out old, not trendy dresses. Oh wow, that's again quite a lot. Thank you so much. So each and every one of us has our own distinct method of expressing who we are. And clothes and accessories are just one way we do this. Fast fashion is something that all of us are familiar with because it's just such a quick and easy solution to everything, being trendy, budget-friendly clothes, affordable credit card bills, home deliveries, and of course, returns. We all change our mind last minute, right? Social media creates another form of need, of recognition. So the more likes and positive comments we get, the more we want of the same thing. Throughout our life, we see certain cues that subtly nudge us into buying these clothes that we perhaps don't even need. So throughout our life, we get coupons in the mail, get texts on our phone, and throughout our life are surrounded by advertising content that pushes us to think that we need to look good in order to feel good, that we are defined by what we wear, and that we really, really need to make those heads turn by wearing the newest, latest fast fashion. When I moved to the States, last year from India, I was shocked to see perfectly good clothes being discarded in the trash. And it took me a while to actually adapt and adjust to this shift. I use the word shift because in India, it's a culture to reuse, recycle, upcycle, and even downcycle clothes. For example, a simple cotton sari can easily be redesigned into a shirt or a tunic or even pants and a scarf. In fact, in non-urban India, a small and marginalized farmer can barely make up to $2 per day. To him, each and every scrap of cloth is precious, and therefore, old clothes get often traded in for new clothes or kitchen utensils, or even redesigned and converted into articles of household use, such as, quilts, bread savers, mattress stuffings, and pillowcases. And even grocery bags. There's no limit to what we can do with creativity after all. When I decided to research this issue of fast fashion, I found out some really, really alarming statistics. What really stood out to me were a couple of these which I'm going to share with you today. For example, it takes 2,700 liters of water to manufacture a single pair of jeans, a single t-shirt, and 3,800 liters of water to manufacture a single pair of jeans. And that's 54 full bathtubs. Just for this. Every second, a garbage truck full of textiles is being dumped in landfills. The textile industry alone is responsible for 10% of global carbon emissions, and this is expected to go up by 50% by 2050. Annually, 100 billion garments are produced per year, of which 92 million end up in landfills. And this is because the number of times a garment is worn has dropped 36% from the years 2000 to 2015. That's, no laughing matter. And lastly, the textile dyeing industry in itself is highly water intensive and contributes to both global warming and climate change because it's just so polluting. But the question is, can we really continue like this? Is this really sustainable? Well, fortunately, the situation in California is set to change soon. Effective 1st July 2030, the manufacturers of garments will have to take back their clothes that has been mandated by law. And they'll have to take back their clothes through a PRO, or Producer Responsibility Organization. This law is known as SB 707, or the Responsible Textile Recovery Act of 2024. Since it is mandated by law, non-compliance will attract penalties, And the main idea behind this approach is to simply append this make, take, wear, throw approach that we've just adopted in our lives. But the question that comes to mind is, what do the young people, that is our future generations, think about this law? What do they think about fast fashion? So, to better understand the root cause of this issue and what drives it, I decided to enroll in an SRM, Sustainable Resource Management course at IVC, a local community college. Subsequently, I designed and conducted a survey amongst University High School and University of California, Irvine students to better understand their opinions and purchase patterns. And I got 51 respondents and quite a bit of surprising results. 90% of the people were not aware of SB 707. 95% said that they would be willing to give clothes back to manufacturers if given a financial incentive. Less than 50% accurately guessed that the textile industry is responsible for 10% of global carbon emissions, and 67% said that they had bought clothes within the last 3 to 6 months. Well, those were alarming stats, like I mentioned, and well, we obviously cannot continue like this. So, I believe that schools can play a vital role in the transition from fast to functional fashion. To further this goal, I conceptualized a framework called ACTIVE that can help comply with SB 707. ACTIVE stands for Awareness, Community Cooperate and Civic Participation, Technology, Incentive, Verifiability, and Extended Producer Responsibility. Schools and colleges can play a vital role by acting as collection points for used clothes. The primary clients for fast fashion companies are high school students and young people, after all. These clothes can then be given to a PRO, which will be responsible for sorting and collecting data, which can then be used to inform concerned stakeholders, such as the government, civic bodies, and garment manufacturers, and drive incentives for schools. These incentives may not be in the form of monetary awards, but can be in the form of upgraded infrastructure, Tinker Labs, funding for startups, and even scholarships. Schools and colleges can improve their curriculum with a two-pronged program in mind. One that focuses on developing the conceptual knowledge of sustainability, and the second is the actual applications of these concepts in our daily life outside the classroom. For example, schools and colleges can improve their curriculum by introducing courses such as sustainable fashion and circular economy, and can reinforce the applications of these concepts through sustainable fashion shows and internships with these fast fashion companies, so that students can actually understand where their clothes come from and what price we have to pay for every garment produced. A word of caution, however, no matter how functional and mindful consumption is key, and there's no panacea for unchecked needs. I hope that my talk here today has perhaps influenced you to recycle more, buy a little less, and think about whether we really need so many clothes, about whether it's really a need or a want. And I know that each and every one of you will look just as fabulous as you do today. Thank you so much.